Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Forex Shorts Podcast.
Yes.
Today, we're going to dive deep into the journeys of two individuals who found, notable success in Forex trading.
Yeah.
Abby, you might know him as Habby Forex Academy on socials, and Jeff Benson.
Right.
From their conversation on Deba TV, and our goal is to really unpack their experiences and offer you guys some really valuable insights into their methods and mindsets.
Definitely.
We're not chasing the dream of overnight riches here,
Right.
but rather aiming for a realistic view of the realities and potential within Forex through what Abby and Jeff have shared.
Absolutely. And it's really interesting seeing how different their paths were to even get into trading Forex.
Yeah.
But they both had similar challenges in the beginning.
Yeah.
Abby was, waiting to get into university, looking for ways to make money online. And just through research, came across Forex trading, started learning on babypips.com, and actually got his initial capital from his parents. Interesting. Which he lost.
Okay, so he was...
Very relatable.
I was going to say he was kind of thrown in the deep end a little bit there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people start that way, and that's why that's good to learn from their mistakes.
Yeah, for sure. And then we have Jeff, whose motivation stemmed from wanting to achieve financial freedom.
Yes.
He took the big step of leaving law school after getting his diploma.
Wow.
Tried out different things online before finding Forex in late 2017 through someone he knew through family.
Okay.
And his initial capital was actually way smaller than Abby's just $50 that he saved up.
That's quite a contrast.
Yeah, completely different beginnings.
Yeah. But even with that difference, they both still experienced losses early on.
Right.
But what's really insightful is how differently they responded.
Right.
Abby just instantly focused on learning from the mistakes. He wanted to understand what went wrong instead of giving up.
Yeah.
Which is something that successful traders do.
Yeah, they're not afraid to fail.
Exactly.
And Jeff, when his initial $50 didn't work out, he realized he needed more capital to properly engage with the market.
Yeah.
Which I guess highlights there's no one right way to start. It really depends on the individual situation and how much risk they're willing to take.
Exactly. And looking at what really helped them move forward.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
For Abby, a turning point was when he got $10,000 to trade from someone overseas.
Oh, okay.
Now, this wasn't just about having more money.
Right.
It was about managing someone else's money.
Yeah.
And being accountable for it.
Wow. That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, essentially, this woman gave Abby this opportunity because she saw something in him.
Right.
And he managed to generate $1 million in profit for her.
$1 million.
From that $10,000.
Yeah.
And he got a percentage of that.
Right.
But what's really interesting is that he reinvested his share into his own trading setup.
That's smart.
It shows he's committed to this for the long haul.
Yeah, he's not just in it for a quick buck.
Definitely. And it highlights a really important lesson.
What's that?
Making profits is one thing, but knowing how to reinvest those profits, that can really help you grow and build a sustainable career in trading.
Exactly. Now, for Jeff, his defining moment came in 2018.
Okay.
When a friend gave him 25,000 naira.
Okay.
From a pool of 425,000 naira.
Right.
And while that might seem small compared to Abby's 10,000 US dollars.
Yeah.
Jeff was able to use his existing knowledge and training to grow that capital significantly within just 6 months.
So it wasn't about the size of the initial investment, but about effectively applying the knowledge he already had.
Exactly. And I think that's really encouraging for people starting with limited funds.
Yeah.
It shows that you can achieve great results if you apply your knowledge diligently.
And if we compare both of their turning points, they both involved trust and opportunity given to them by other people.
Yeah, it wasn't just their own individual efforts.
So it shows how valuable networking and building relationships in the trading community can be.
It really does.
And, trading isn't all about winning.
Right.
Both Abby and Jeff have been open about their big losses, which are valuable lessons for all of us.
Definitely.
So Jeff had a pretty significant loss of $190,000 in 2019. What happened there?
Well, he said it was mainly due to adding to his losing positions.
Okay.
During all the chaos of Brexit.
Right.
He was trading the GDP-USD pair, which dropped a lot.
Okay.
And to make things more complicated, people were copying his trades.
Oh, so his decisions were amplified.
Yes, exactly.
That must have been tough, not just financially, but the responsibility of others following his trades.
Definitely.
So how did he bounce back from that?
Well, his recovery journey is quite insightful.
Okay.
He decided to really dive into the psychology of trading. He mentioned the book Trading in the Zone as a key resource.
So he recognized that his mindset played a big part in the loss.
Yeah. Importantly, he emphasized taking full responsibility for his decisions instead of just blaming the market.
Right.
That kind of self-awareness is so crucial for any trader.
Yeah, for sure. It's like that saying, you have to own your mistakes to learn from them.
Exactly.
Now, Abby also shared that he lost $79,000 in 2020.
Right.
What happened there?
He actually reinvested profits that he was going to use for personal goals.
Like what?
Finishing his house and buying a car.
Okay.
But he put it back into the market and lost it.
Oh, wow.
This shows how emotions like overconfidence from past successes can really cloud judgment.
Yeah.
Especially when you're dealing with funds meant for important things.
It's a good reminder to keep trading capital separate from money you need for other essential things.
Definitely.
And to stay disciplined even when you're doing well.
Absolutely.
Abby also mentioned losing a lot in the cryptocurrency market later on with Luna.
Oh, yeah. He initially made quite a bit of profit, but then lost significantly when it crashed.
So that's a really good example of how volatile these newer asset classes can be and how important it is to not get complacent even if you've had success before.
Definitely. It shows how crucial it is to always be assessing risk.
So Abby shared some great insights on why Forex traders lose money. What were some of his main points?
Well, he believes that a lot of new traders have this get-rich-quick mentality.
Right.
And lack the passion to really learn and understand the market.
Yeah, they're drawn to the idea of easy profits.
Yeah.
But don't want to put in the work.
Exactly.
And that often leads to neglecting the basics and taking shortcuts.
Yeah, which usually doesn't end well.
What else did he talk about?
He also stressed how important it is to have enough knowledge and not just a superficial understanding of the market.
Right.
If you don't learn about trading principles, risk management, market analysis, you're basically just gambling.
Yeah, you're just guessing.
And he brought up an interesting idea.
What's that?
About being a rationalist in trading.
Oh, yeah. What did he mean by that?
So from his background in philosophy, he believes that successful traders should base their decisions on logic, analysis, and data. Not emotions, biases, or impulsive actions.
Right. So have a clear strategy based on research and analysis.
Yeah, and stick to it.
Yeah.
Don't just go with your gut feeling or react emotionally to market changes. And maybe one of his most important points was that traders are often their own worst enemy.
Oh, how so?
They tend to blame the market for their losses.
Okay.
Instead of taking responsibility for their own mistakes.
Yeah, I guess it's easier to blame something external.
Yeah, and this goes back to what we were talking about with Jeff's Brexit loss.
Right.
Being able to look inward and identify your weaknesses is so important for growth.
And Abby also said that it's really important to analyze past trades to see if there are any patterns in your mistakes so you can actively work on correcting them.
Exactly. If you don't do that, you're likely to keep making the same errors.
It's like a feedback loop.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to how both Abby and Jeff are now supporting new traders.
Okay.
Their company, Consummate Trader, actually offers funding.
Yeah, they provide a way for traders to access more capital if they can prove their skills.
Okay.
They mentioned Consummate Trader City and ProFlex as platforms where they offer this funding.
So if someone can show that they're competent, they could potentially trade with up to $400,000 in funded accounts.
Yeah, that's a huge opportunity.
Especially for those starting out.
Definitely.
And what's the profit share like?
It's actually quite good. Traders can keep up to 90% of their profits.
Wow, that's a great deal.
It shows they really believe in supporting talented traders.
And Abby specifically mentioned that they have a supportive approach.
Right.
They give traders multiple tries in the evaluation.
Yeah.
They expect mistakes to happen because it's all part of the learning process.
Right.
And they focus on providing guidance.
So it's like a mentorship as well as funding.
Exactly. It's not just about the money.
Right.
It's about helping people grow into consistently profitable traders.
Which takes time.
And involves making mistakes along the way.
Now, what advice did they have for aspiring traders?
Well, Abby stressed the importance of building a solid foundation of knowledge.
Okay.
And he specifically recommended babypips.com as a great starting point.
Yeah.
He really emphasized understanding the fundamentals.
And he also talked about developing a genuine passion for trading.
Yeah.
And understanding the behind-the-scenes work that successful traders do.
Right, not just the lifestyle.
It's about the dedication and the effort.
Exactly.
And he pointed out that now with funding platforms like Consummate Trader, access to capital isn't as much of a barrier.
Yeah, as long as you have the skills and the knowledge.
What about Jeff? What advice did he have?
His advice was a little bit more unconventional. Okay.
He basically said, don't play it too safe.
Really?
Especially when you're young and don't have a lot of financial responsibilities.
So take risks.
Calculated risks.
Okay.
He acknowledged that trading is inherently risky, but you need to learn to manage that risk.
Right.
He also talked about saving your money, investing in your education as a trader, and reinvesting your profits to grow your capital.
And these are all just good financial principles in general.
Yeah, definitely.
Jeff shared his experience of leaving law school to pursue his goals.
He took a big risk.
But it paid off for him.
Yeah.
And lastly, their parting messages were very inspiring.
What did Abby say?
He said to never think of quitting, always go harder, and be the best at what you do.
That's powerful.
Yeah, it really shows his dedication.
What about Jeff?
He said to be crazy with Forex and be the best.
I like that.
Yeah, they're both very motivated to push boundaries and achieve great things.
Yeah, and they seem really passionate about inspiring others.
Yeah.
Especially those just starting out.
Yeah.
To show them that success in Forex is possible with the right mindset, knowledge, and hard work.
Yeah.
Just like they did it.
So, as you can see, your journey into Forex trading is likely to have ups and downs.
Just like anything in life.
But what we can learn from Abby and Jeff is to constantly seek knowledge, take responsibility for our decisions, manage our risk, and develop a strong mindset.
Definitely.
Because while the rewards can be great, they come with hard work and dedication.
Yeah.
So remember Abby's early struggles and how he used online resources like baby pips?
And Jeff's bold move to leave law school.
And the risks he took.
Yeah.
What resonates with you the most from their stories?
Yeah. What can you do today?
To improve your understanding and approach trading more strategically?
This deep dive should give you a lot to think about.
As you navigate the Forex market,
Definitely.
please subscribe. Leave a comment on what you learned from the video. Like this content, and thank you for listening to Forex Shorts podcasts.
Peace out.
Peace out.